body positivity, manly app negativity, and masturbation is homosexuality. Coming up today on The Point. Hello and welcome to The Point, the only talk show bringing gay and straight men together to see what happens. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Zayd and Jim are both still away, so still back with us is YouTuber and author Adam Carroll.
Hello.
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 We also have a special guest.
Hello. Hello.
Are we done saying hello here to Adam?
Never.
Because
Never.
we have a special guest with us today. Photographer Anthony Patrick Manieri.
Hello,
hi.
sir.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm glad you could join us today. What Anthony has been doing lately is fascinating and has actually become sort of a global phenomenon.
Great.
Did you know that? Did you know that?
Kind of, sort of, but not really.
It's a series, a project?
A portrait series, yes.
Called Arrested Movement.
Right.
And it targets issues of body positivity or body image
Yes.
in gay men.
Right.
Correct? And I have a bunch of images here. I'm going to put one up on the board right there. What is Arrested Movement?
Well, the term itself is just arrested, so captured movement. So these men are in positions and jumping in the air, almost like ballet dancers. And some of them are quite large, and some of them are quite thin, and they wouldn't be quite. You wouldn't think that these men would actually be doing that. So that's the juxtaposition there. So
What did you set out to create something that dealt with such a serious topic?
yes, yeah. So I started this project about a year and a bit ago. Based off of an image that when I was in London, I was photographing a gentleman, and at the end, he was a dancer. He was, I guess, in the gay community, would be considered a bear. And he was doing all these jumps, and I said, do you mind doing that with your clothes off? And he did, and the picture was great, and I sent it to him, and called it a day, and he posted it, and it kind of went viral. So I figured there was it hit a nerve with some people liked it. And so about a year later, I had gained some weight and feeling kind of crappy, and my body issues came up again. And I said, and I had been complaining with a friend that as a photographer, you're constantly shooting for the client, editing, and getting a workout, and never really doing anything for yourself. So I wanted to put together a gallery show for myself. And I based it off of this portrait that I'd done of this gentleman with the message of positive body image. So that's how this got started.
And it's grown from there. I mean, you didn't expect it to get.
No.
So how did? Okay, so it's this one photograph.
Yes.
But it's a lot now.
Yeah.
How did it get there?
So I came back from when I was heading to London. I had this idea, like this is what I was going to do. So when I came back from London, I asked 5 gentlemen to pose for me. Great. As the days were leading up to the shoot, I thought, the studio space is quite expensive for the day, so I figured I would. Put a post out to see if anybody else would be interested. And 36 men stepped forward. So it went from a 1-day shoot to a 2-day shoot.
Like how many people were you expecting?
10. I really was going to be a 1-day shoot in the end, like in the beginning, like that was it. And it was going to be like maybe 10 or 12 gentlemen and do a small gallery show somewhere with this message of positive body image. And initially it was bearish men, but people who came out was a complete mix. And I'm like, yeah, everyone has body issues, which I remembered as a photographer for so long. When people stand in front of my camera, they always point out, I don't like my nose, I don't like my arms, can you please make me look a little thinner? So everyone, no matter how beautiful they are, they have problems, there are issues with themselves, right? So I was like, okay. So I embraced that. And then when the shoot was done, they would post on their social media that this is what I did today, this is what it was for, this was about, and I feel amazing. Their social network started to see it, and they started to message me. So I started getting messages from Ohio, Quebec, excuse me, asking if I was going to their city And I kind of sat with that for a little while, and more messages would come in, and I thought, okay, so if I'm going to do this, then let me try this out. So the following week I was in Montreal for a job. The Sunday I was off, I thought, let me see if I can do this again, and I put a post out, and 20 men showed up. So I'm like, okay, something's happening. Something's happening here. Yeah. So, and since then, I photographed over 300 men.
Wow. That's amazing. And there's lots of. You talked about that it started with bearish men, but it grew from there. I mean, here's one of the. I mean, he's in a wheelchair.
Yes. That was in LA. That was amazing.
When people come to you and they say, "I want you to photograph me," what do they say about their thoughts about their body? And
well, it's interesting because now I'm getting messages from people who are thanking me for doing this. They're either thanking me for doing this, or they're messaging to say if they would love to be a part of it and how can they be. And the third would be they're messaging me their stories of how they've always disliked themselves over the years and they've been trying to love themselves.
So, and you were telling me before we started rolling about somebody who came and...
Yeah, so early on, this one gentleman on set approached me and said, I want to tell you why I came today. And he had a slew of health issues that were terminal. And he said, you know, I came because this project... the message behind this project is so strong, and I also wanted to be proof that I existed in this world. So I hugged him.
Wow.
And I walked outside, and I just started to cry. And my assistant came outside and she's like, what's wrong? I'm like, this is supposed to be an art project. You know, like I feel like now I'm Oprah all of a sudden, and which is great, but I had to really embrace that because I'm like, well, even though I wanted people to get the message, I was like, whoa, like that's a lot. And I'm getting messages from people who've participated and they're sending me emails and saying, you know, I've been in therapy for years and something happened on set and I feel amazing. Thank you so much. So it's quite humbling, and I'm very grateful.
The power of art.
Yeah.
We were talking about that before. There's another photograph of a trans man.
Yes.
And I wondered if there were different issues between gay men, trans men, bearish men, Twinkie men, smaller guys, or is there?
It's across the board. People just have body issues, really. Self-esteem issues, body issues, which all kind of falls under the umbrella of mental health, right? So
what's the message that you want people to, you know, as whether they're just looking at the photographs or they want to be a part of it? What's ultimately the message that you're trying to send through your photography?
Well, again, this all evolved organically. So I mean, in the end, I mean, it's about loving yourself just as you are right now, and saying that it's not that you'll never, if you're a large man, you'll never lose weight because you love yourself. So it's not glorifying obesity. It's not glorifying eating disorders like bulimia. It's just loving yourself as you are right now. You can always improve on it, but you have to love yourself. Otherwise, it's like that negative. It's the negative ego sitting on your shoulder. It's like you're not the good looking. You're ugly. You're the ugly one in the room, or you're not going to get the job.
Yeah, you're not good enough.
You're not good enough, right?
You don't have to improve yourself to have value.
Right.
You innately have value no matter what.
Absolutely, and as you are right now, no matter what your hair looks like, no matter if you've got man boobs or not, like it's just, that's the way, you should love yourself, and that's a gift, right? But we don't accept it.
And you asked, again, before we started rolling, you asked me if I had body issues.
Yes.
And I do, and I readily admit it. Is there...
I do.
Obvi.
Obvi.
Oh, it's true.
100%. 100%.
Is there any one... it's fascinating to me, this
There's not
topic.
one person that doesn't have it.
Huh?
There's not one person that doesn't have it.
Right.
I think society just has this view that it's only women who have body image issues.
Yeah, well, that's another thing too, is because whenever this topic is discussed in the media, it's always geared to women.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, because I think they get it a lot more.
They get
Like
it
there's
a lot
TV shows
more.
based on, did they look good in this dress or
Yeah,
not? Like,
right.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
For sure.
And with men, I think they suffer silently with it, like I was saying earlier too. But I think in the gay community, I was saying that, you know, when you come out, there's this like weight lifted off your shoulders and you feel amazing, but then all of a sudden you're faced with like, well, there's different tribes here, and where do you fall in? But this is what you should look like, but I don't look like that. So
It's funny, and we were talking about this too, and last week we were talking about the movie Love, Simon.
Yes.
There's a scene in the movie that's played for a laugh, and it is funny, where after Simon comes out, he Googles how to dress like a gay guy.
Yes.
And he does this whole thing in front of the mirror wearing different, like, sexy, tight-fitting shirts. It's funny. It's comedy. I get it. But it's comedy because it's based on a truth, which is you come out, you join the community, and then there's this pressure. I mean, you were talking about the difference between, like, straight thin is gay fat.
Yeah, it's his line on American Dad where he says, "I'm gay fat. I'm straight thin, but I'm gay fat," which, you know, is hilarious, but but also just sort of very concisely summarizes the double standards, how it's different for straight men, and sort of what's expected of them in terms of their bodies, and in the gay community as well, how it, you know, there are different standards. And
But I think it affects straight men as well, does it not? I mean, as an actor.
Yeah. I was actually just struggling with like comparison before we shot today, just because I'm like, saw this great photo of this actor, and I'm like, man, I'm like competing against this guy, and I'm like, I'm never gonna do anything. This is great.
Was
you
it
know what I
Paul
mean? So this is like
Giamatti?
what you just said right there. I had a little like well up. I was like, I needed to hear the whole value thing, because like we berate ourselves more than anybody else, and it's just awful.
Well, like the number of times I say in my head is like, okay, well, if I look like this YouTuber, I'd be successful right now. The number of times I say that in a week is unreal.
It's just the
And
whole
it actually has
comparison
nothing.
thing. It's just live your
100%.
own life, blinders on. Like,
Is this conversation, does any of this surprise you after talking and meeting all these different people?
Not at all, no. It's sad. I mean, just to like the Instagram page, I was creating memes just for inspiration, because in dark times with myself, I would always find memes to be inspirational. So I thought of creating them and sharing them, all to do with positive body image and loving yourself. And as I'm typing it up, I'm like, wait, I don't even do this. Like, I used to do this, but I don't do this anymore. So I found, even for myself in the past year, I've learned to love myself a lot more, which is amazing. And so,
well, because there's this thing about I think maybe what people are feeling in your artwork when they come in is somebody external to them is saying, "You're beautiful, you're enough," you know, and that's the thing, is that a lot of people, I know that I'm always, whether I should be or not, I know that I shouldn't be, searching for that external force that's saying, like,
reassurance.
What you're doing is enough. Like, you don't have to prove yourself constantly, whether it's professionally or, you know, in terms of body issues and all of that sort of stuff. Like, you know, you can be happy and, you know, and move forward as well, but the next thing isn't the thing that's going to make you happy. You know, like, that thing is not always out of reach, and you have to be able to take stock at some point and say, you know, I am finding happiness here, and I am enough, whatever that means to you.
yeah.
Well, as we look at some of the other photos, if people want to look at the Arrested movement, the body of work that exists right now, can they find it online?
Well, the website is very minimal because we are a social.
that is my favorite picture.
I know, I love
That's
that
that's actually the image that started it off.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, that's
It's a great
Yeah, that's a great
It's
image.
so good.
So when I was interviewed for this article from Gay Star News, they wanted images, and I was like keeping all the images really close to my chest, because I know once you start sharing images, it's done.
Yeah.
And so the project, I didn't want it to be lackluster at the end. So there are some images that I've released, and that's it. But otherwise, the website is arrestedmovement.com. There's some information there. The website actually will be changing this month, which is great. And there's also the Instagram page at Arrested Movement.
And if people want to reach out to you in terms of, you know, I want to be part of this, is there a way that they can do that?
There's an email from the website, yeah. Or you can email me personally at anthony@anthonypatrickmanieri.com.
Great.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, thank you, Anthony, for
thank you
joining
so
us
much.
today.
Thanks for having me.
Are you willing to stick around for a little bit and
Sure.
play with us for the rest of the episode?
Sure.
Thank you very much, because now it's time for Tito's Midpoint.
This week we're playing The Point of No Return,
Which means...
which means there will be questions and you just have to answer truthfully. Simple, easy.
Just like you.
All right. If you switched genders for the day, what would you do?
Oh.
The same, probably what Ori is thinking. Yeah, get all up in that business, see what that's all about, try to figure it out from that perspective.
Just play with your boobs all day?
I think the boobs I got figured out, I think.
Why? Have you ever been dumped? Thanks.
Have you?
No, I've been ghosted a lot by people that I'm in
You mean
relationships
haunted?
What?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's worse
Not
than being
great.
dumb.
Any explanation?
I was moving. I was moving from Newfoundland to here, and I guess he thought it would just be better if he disappeared.
How long?
And I had been in like an on and off relationship with him for like a year.
Oh, see,
a little
that's too
over a
long.
year.
If it's like a couple of dates, maybe I could understand that kind of thing. It's
No.
not ideal.
Not a year. That's
But that's,
ruthless.
like,
That is
shitty.
savage.
We had plans to go see the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie, like the first one, on my birthday.
Okay.
And then it was literally on my birthday, and he just stopped messaging me, like not a
And
word.
that's why you had that sad, lonely birthday?
Literally my life.
Yeah. Anthony,
All right.
dig in.
There we go.
You had no idea what you were doing.
Have you ever walked in on your parents doing it?
Oh.
I would say no, thankfully.
Yeah.
You would say that or that actually?
No, it's a no.
Has anybody?
I have.
You have?
Really?
Not like when they were doing it, but must have just finished. And I was like, I surprised them, and I was like, oh, hello. And I'm like, I'll be downstairs. You guys just.
How old were you?
It was like,
like
3 weeks
No, I
ago.
was gonna say it was,
Okay,
it was probably like 5 years ago.
Oh, so
you were
like
an
you were
adult.
still like in your mid
We
20s.
had a good laugh
Still
about it.
doing it.
Okay.
I was like, oh hey guys, I'll be outside. Cool.
That's good that they're still.
God bless, yeah.
Yeah.
They're in love. Where's the strangest place you've ever had sex?
Your ass.
Oh, I wish I had that question.
Actually, no, I already answered this in one of the episodes.
Get a new one.
In the castle.
Oh, that's right.
The castle.
Which
Yeah,
castle?
I remember that.
In
Get a new one
Europe.
now.
You know how like every
Can't
city
do
has a
that.
Do another
castle
one.
and like.
Because you
another
did
one?
answer
Yes,
that. You
you
already
answered.
answered that.
Yeah, why was that still in?
No, it was just like a different. It just came up.
Well, then do another one anyway. We want to learn
We
more
just
about
like hearing
Tito.
from
We
you.
really do.
If you could be any type of animal, what would you be?
You'd be a female dog.
You always in heat.
You a bitch.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'm so glad we went back.
Yeah, I know. He'd be a castle.
Some type of bird.
Ooh, a pterodactyl.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
Titosaurus Rex.
cute.
That's good.
If I knew the world was about to end, what would I do?
Not watch your parents have sex.
I would get on a plane and go somewhere, and hopefully.
Make it before.
Make it
Have somewhere to land.
I would go. I would fly to like Bali or something like that if I could make it there and just go see some
Enjoy your
things.
last
Yeah,
couple of-
grab a girl and
Yep.
take her with me.
And
Not just
elbow
one.
Hey, what is that actually?
Throw some bows.
Not just one.
Okay, Tito,
Yeah,
I have
all
a
of them.
question. How many orgasms have you had in one sexual encounter? By
What do you count one sexual encounter?
Well, what?
Without them leaving your bed. Or
Well, when
Like,
you say
uh-huh.
how many orgasms do you? Is that with or without ejaculation?
Hold on.
I mean, that's
I-
weird if you don't ejaculate.
I don't know if you know about this, but I feel like I need to understand
Yeah,
what
what's
you're
happening
talking
here?
about.
Can that
Is this
happen?
something that we
No,
can
'cause-
do as men?
No, but like sometimes you have like
No.
I have aftershocks for like 5 minutes afterwards. Like
What?
I'm
The shakes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like so like my body's still orgasming even though I've ejaculated like
You've not
5
had
minutes
that?
ago.
No.
Or seen that?
No.
I'm missing out.
I mean, I have sex literally like once every 2 years, but but like no, I've never.
Yeah.
How many
Interesting.
times in one?
So are you saying that these aftershocks count as separate orgasms or something?
Well, because like I can't believe I'm talking about this right now.
we have
but
a close-up on this? What's going on?
I know. Like there's the big event,
Yes.
and then there's like a little calm, but then it's like oh, and then there's a calm.
No, I've never had that. No.
Really?
We need to have
I've
better.
never had that.
you lucky
But I've seen it.
duck.
Right.
And at first I'm like, what's going on?
Wow.
Yeah, other people have seen it and heard it. Thank you, Tito.
Okay.
Wait,
For
what did
today's
you
answer.
answer?
Oh, so how many? I don't know. I don't.
Was the question in a day or in
In
a
one
sexual
sexual
encounter.
encounter.
You don't know how many times?
Well, like if you're talking like ejaculation, then maybe 2.
Only 2?
That's it? Okay.
Can I want to know what's yours? What's yours? Now I'm curious.
15.
Well, in one session, like,
Yeah, like how many? Like it takes a few minutes for your body to make
I
more.
would say like 3 or 4.
Yeah, it does.
Do you know how long it takes for the body to make sperm?
How long?
Like,
70 days.
Really?
Yeah.
How about to
not in
make
my experience, honey.
ejaculate though? Because you
It's a
can have
different
ejaculate
story.
without the sperm.
Yeah, it's a different story entirely.
Okay, good.
Oh, wait, really?
I need to learn about my own
minutes.
body.
Isn't ejaculate sperm?
No,
isn't it a
sperm
half
is
an
what's
hour?
in the ejaculate that like fertilizes.
Isn't?
Then what comes out?
Ejaculate?
Yeah.
But what is
The
it then?
fluid.
It's like
That
the
carries the
car
sperm.
that carries the.
The ejaculate is just a vehicle.
Tis.
Tito, we're learning.
Okay, yeah, okay. We're blowing Tito's mind right now.
So, like, if it's not white and it's just like see-through, is that what that is?
No, you can't see the sperm.
No, but you know how like some sperm is white and some is just like clear.
No, that's just
That's
based
just
on what
pre-
you've eaten.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Moving on. Sexual
This
education.
show is off the rails.
Thank you, Tito, for today's very destructive midpoint. And that brings us to talking point number 2, faking it. Okay, so
Just like Ori's tan.
ouch!
Throwing some shade.
Mexico, bud.
Wow, obviously he wasn't in the shade with that tan.
God.
Okay, your joke's great again.
So we were talking about body image and body positivity. Okay, so there's this new app called Manly.
Are there still apps?
What is that about?
Yes, there are still apps. Manly allows users to Photoshop their bodies to appear more manly.
There's
I've
one
actually
It's
that you
not
can
just
add-
Photoshop. Is
I've
that
seen
not
this on
just what that
Instagram.
is?
In fact,
No, like you can put a filter of like abs on yourself.
Yeah.
here, there you go. You can.
But what's the point
You
of
can-
this? Because as soon as somebody sees you,
I-
they're
that
like, oh.
is exactly my feeling.
Are you gonna add tattoos to yourself and everything?
You can add tattoos.
Yeah.
You can add facial hair. Like if the whole
fun.
point is to hook up.
I
To
have
see
facial
what
hair
you
every
could
day.
look like if you were.
Very slowly.
But why would you put that out as
Very
like
slowly. I have facial hair every day.
like an app thing? But it's been the app has been accused of reinforcing damaging and unrealistic body image stereotypes in men.
But the other thing too, though, that you forget is not just that, because that is very true, and B, somebody's going to immediately see that it's not the case.
Yeah.
But also, people aren't always all into the same thing, right? So what's happening is you're pretending that you look like that, and then this person who actually is into you and your body type and what you actually look like is like swiping left or whatever the gay community version of that is. I don't think that works in Grindr. But
Swiping
anyway.
left, giving a blowjob.
Okay. But the point is that they're sort of saying like, no, I'm not into this person, when they would be into the actual you.
Actually, yeah.
Because you've put this fake advertisement up.
Well,
I don't think anybody would say no to somebody who looks like that.
But sometimes I just want like people's nudes, you know? So like I'm just gonna put it up, make me look really hot, and I just want to see you naked. I'm not looking to hook up with you. I don't have time for that. I don't have effort for that.
This is an extreme version of like the filters that people put on their
Yes.
pictures.
well, yes.
You know, where all the lines are gone off their face. And I've sat across tables from people who've done that. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like,
It's true. I'm not interested in women unless they have butterflies floating around their
right.
Or that little like crown.
crown of flowers.
A
yeah.
cat nose.
Yeah.
But you do that all the
Dog
time,
hairs.
Tito. You Instagram filter
I
everything.
filter my face all the time.
Why?
Why?
It's beautiful. You have a
want,
beautiful
like, a
face. I'm
smoother-
looking at it right
Literally
now.
have a great face.
But you do have a nice smooth face.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Look at his smile.
It's usually my under eyes because I always feel like I look tired all the time. So like even if I put makeup
But aren't
under
you
there.
tired most of the time?
Okay.
Yes, but
take a
I
nap.
don't want to look tired.
Tito, this might be a little, but photographers have approached you about you being a model for them, and you have said no.
Okay.
And why have you said no?
Because I like doing them I like taking pictures of myself, but I need to see how I look. If I don't know the picture that's being taken of me and like I can't see it, then I don't know what my body's doing and what it looks like. I just can't.
So you don't trust the photographer?
Yeah.
I think that's that's like a you and the photographer relationship. You got to find somebody that you actually
Yeah, but
trust.
then even the person having so many photos of me, it's just like what are they gonna do with it? I don't want anyone else to see them. And if
You put everything on Instagram. What do you mean you don't
yeah,
want
but
people to see them?
the pictures that I put on Instagram, like I have control over.
You have
what people
control of
see.
them because
Exactly.
you Instagram filter everything.
But I think he's also saying that he can choose which ones he puts on and which ones he.
Yeah, like I have control of
puts
what
in the
people
trash
see
or whatever.
of me, as opposed to
You
somebody
police
else.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're using, no offense, but if you're using filters, then you're still not. That's still not really you, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's still everything's
It's
the same.
it's a
just
version of you.
altered.
And you're not the only
version
person who
that's
does
not
it. There's
real.
millions of
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
who do it.
Do you run into this when
It's not,
you're dealing
like,
with
filtered, it's
subjects, like of trying to win their trust and sort of get them to trust you and what you're trying
Sometimes
to
there's
do?
extremes, yeah, where people wanted me to take 100 pounds off of them.
Right, because you
not even
as
the
a
same
photographer,
person
And I'm
you
like,
also edit
but that's
pictures.
not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But for them to trust that you're capturing the.
Well, that's my job,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So it's to make sure I get the best angles of their face. So, and clients who come back after like 10 years because they photographed with somebody else and they're like, it wasn't Anthony. You know?
Yeah.
I need you to take some pictures of me.
Well, this is a whole other concept of masculinity. Internet preacher.
Oh yes, I love this. I'm excited for this
Gay
one.
internet preacher.
Internet preacher. I don't think he's gay, or at least. But anyway,
Internet preacher?
Once you finish reading that, it's clear that
internet
he's gay.
preacher. I love people who
Who's watching?
I'm an internet preacher. Dave
A little
Daubenmire
bit. A little bit.
has claimed that masturbation is homosexuality.
What does that mean?
Okay, he's
Like it makes you gay,
No.
or you are
you
gay
are
if you
gay
do it?
if
Because
you
you do it.
masturbate.
Oh, I'm the
So-
gayest man you've ever met.
100%.
This
So
is the
what?
standard.
Okay, so what he said in a recent video that he published,
sometimes
if you're
watches
very very honest about it, masturbation is homosexuality.
You're touching a dick.
You're having sex with a man. You get it? You put images of a woman in your mind,
At most, you're giving a
but you're
hand job to a
having
man.
sex with a man. He goes on to explain that it's a slippery slope when it comes to watching pornography. He said,
Ori!
Well, yeah.
Don't I know it?
he said,
That's Ori's favorite site, slipperyslope.com.
Next to back
Give me a
page.
minute.
it's where pornography is where the devil will take us if we give them free rein in our minds.
Yeah,
he
it's
believes. He also said he believes sex is a behavior. It's just a bodily function, and he compares it to a bowel movement. He said sometimes
So weird.
one of
I
the
wish I could do it twice a day.
what sex or a
Yeah,
bowel
sex.
movement.
Like, if I could have sex as much. Anyway.
Sometimes one of the greatest feelings that you could ever have is a bowel movement. You guys ever have one of those moments where you thought
Clearly,
you could
this
never?
guy is
Oh, yeah.
gay. Like,
Super gay.
like,
You hold it, and then you run. This guy's a preacher, and run in the house, and the relief that comes
Oh my God, so true. It's like the best feeling.
is that feeling any different than the relief that you get when you have an orgasm? Both of them are
Yes.
temporary releases and feelings
No,
of pleasure.
they're
One is
not.
associated with sex, and one isn't. They are both bodily functions.
one is a feeling of relief,
Yes.
one is a feeling of pleasure. Those are
Absolutely.
two completely different things, first of all.
Yeah.
Okay, this is ridiculous.
Okay, but some people like they do the number twos during sex.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like as a fetish?
Like on, yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough, but that's not what
Like a
he's
good old
talking
Cleveland
about.
Steamers.
100%, but you can have that same feeling of a relief because you've been holding it in all day.
Well, that's
Yeah, no,
I mean,
but that's
water-
not a.
on your
But that's not a
chest.
feeling.
well, like
of
water
relief.
sports can.
yeah, exactly.
Water sports?
I don't like the preacher.
When you
the
Yeah,
preacher.
you know, water
Yeah,
skiing,
yeah.
boating,
Boating.
motorboating.
Hey.
ridiculous.
But I like pointing stuff like this out because while it's funny and it's easy to laugh at,
'Cause
I
it's
think
ridiculous.
it's very important to remember that not only are there people like that out there, but there are people listening and watching to people like that
And
and
agreeing.
believing them and agreeing with them. So I think it's important to keep in touch with what people like that are saying. Tito,
Hola.
What are your thoughts?
Bop of the Week. Before he has a bowel movement, Bop of the Week.
Bob of the week. It's pretty long. Okay.
That's what she said.
It's Banks and Ranks.
You don't know what she said.
I actually don't know what she said.
Featuring Ella Iron. It's called Answer Phone. It's really good.
That wasn't that long.
That wasn't
Or do you
that
mean
long.
like the
there's more,
song
but
is
I'll
long?
add
Well, it's just like on Grindr. He says it's a long one, and then
There you go.
Ba-dum-bum.
No, I always say it's average.
Under promise,
you-
over deliver.
but you are beautiful.
Good strategy.
No matter what they say. Just remember that.
Great.
Even without an Instagram filter.
You don't need filters, yo. No filters are necessary.
Hashtag no
Just
filters.
enhancing a photo. It's not filtering to make me look different. It's just enhancing what I
Also,
got.
slipperyslope.com.
Slipperyslope.com. Adam,
Yes.
where can people find you if they want to find you online?
Instagram is
Not which street corner.
it's my night chime job. Instagram is it's Adam Carroll. Facebook it's Adam Carroll. YouTube.
Hold on, like
YouTube.
it's Adam Carroll,
Yeah.
or are you saying on
Oh,
Instagram it's
it's-
Adam Carroll?
It's-
It's
ITS.
Adam Carroll.
Yeah. And I think I even said that wrong. Instagram is the Adam Carroll, not it's. Goddamn. and Twitter is it's Adam Carroll.
Just look for somebody who looks like this guy looks, and that's probably his
I think
account.
my profile is me with like a rose in my mouth because I was trying to be artsy. So, God bless.
Cheers to that. God bless.
And Anthony, again, if people want to check out Arrested Movement.
So Facebook is at Arrested Movement, Instagram at Arrested Movement, and the website arrestedmovement.com.
Great.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for joining
for
us
having me.
today.
Thank
I
you.
think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you.
Keep it
Beautiful
up.
work.
Thank you.
Of course, if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube. Press the red button, helps us greatly, costs you nothing. You can also check us out on Revry, the world's largest LGBTQ online streaming service at Revry.tv. If you really want to help us, go to our crowdfunding site. Help us financially, please. Patreon.com/ThePointGuys. You can also look for our audio podcast on iTunes. Check us out there. Our email address, you can let us know whatever you'd like to tell us about what we've talked about on the show, thepointguys@gmail.com. Our website is thepointguys.net. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at thepointguys.
And if you're lazy and you're not going to do all of those things, just leave a comment on the Facebook page and we'll get in touch with you too. Just for the lazy people like me.
I'm really happy we ended on that note.
Cool.
Thank you, Dr. Ben.
No problem.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
Tito Ori. Thank you for watching us. We have a new show every Tuesday, so we will see you next Tuesday on The Point.